Hello everybody. Today I'm going to teach you a way that you can in which you can pretend to know a whole stack of decks that has been shuffled, a whole stack of cards that has been shuffled. So let's say I'm the spectator, and then I go through my cards. Right? I go like, oh, there's a joker. Let's keep that aside. Yeah, and then I cycle through the rest of the cards. Oh, there's another joker. Let's keep that aside. Actually, if you could shuffle this pile, yeah. While I'm just randomly playing around with these cards, right? So you're done shuffling them? Cool. Now, yeah, now if you could tell me, just choose one pile, yeah? Just choose one pile. That one? The one which you shuffle, alright. So you can hold on to that, right? And I'll use this pile because you've chosen that pile, so you can have that, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay them down like this, and I'm going to flip them over. And as soon as I look down at the flipped over cards, I want you to start dealing one card at a time down from your pile, right? Like a timer for me. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to memorize the entire stack, right? Because I've shuffled this and you shuffled that. So these cards are pretty much mixed up, right? You can see that they are not in any order, right? I'll show that for the camera's benefit as well. The cards are not in any particular order, yeah? So I guess we should just go on now. So, okay, that's a pretty bad spread, but never mind that, right? We will just have to move these cards in a bit. So I'll have to do another spread, right? So get ready with the timer. That would work for me. Alright, ready? Go. Go, keep dealing the cards, please. Just deal down one card at a time, like a timer for me. It's okay, you can deal them towards your side. Right? So I'm just going to memorize the rest of the stack. Right, I think I can have this done. Okay, time's up for me, I think I'm done. Alright, so if you could keep that your deck aside. I'll just square up these cards. Yeah. Now what I want you to do is keep that pile aside. I think we are done with using it, right? Now I'm going to name each card, and you're just going to flip down one card at a time as I name it, right? From the top, from the other side, yeah. So if as soon as I say the card, I just want you to flip it over here and confirm that I've done correctly, right? I think the first one is a 8,
yeah,
right? Then a 10, then a 4, right? Then I think I think it's two 10s, right? If you could deal them, yeah, there are two 10s, all right. Just deal them on top of each other, right? The next one will be a 3, right? All right, a 3, and then an ace of spades, yeah, the best card in the whole deck, right? The ace of spades. Okay, the next few will be yeah, there are two 3s, right? Yeah, and the next one is yeah, it's a 4. All right, then is a 2, an ace, a 9, an ace, a 2, and a 6. All right, so I guess there are some more cards remaining. All right, we can work with that. I'm getting ace of clubs. All right, a 9. All right, a 3, a king, a 10, and a jack. All right, and that's how you memorize almost an entire deck of cards. I mean, these are about 30 cards, right? Now let's move on to how you are able to do this. The thing is, the beauty of this method is that you have a crib, so you don't have to memorize much. It's just in you convincing them that they have shuffled both the decks, or that both the decks are shuffled and both the piles basically are mixed up. So the way that you have a crib is basically something that you keep looking at and you get the cards in the order, right? So these cards are in a particular stack, and those cards over there, the ones which you give to the spectator, like it's a magician's choice. If they say this stack, you say, oh fine, I'll use it, you can shuffle this up. If they say this stack, you say fine, have it, and shuffle it up, right? Now the thing is, this is a pretty shuffle deck, like you can shuffle it up, right? Now this deck, it has the order in it, And the way that the crib works is that you have the crib lying out in front over here. I'll give you 2 seconds. Leave your answers in the comment section below. Guess what the crib is. Alright. Let's see if you have the right answer. The thing is, the crib right here is the joker. The guarantee joker that comes in a bicycle deck of cards, or in my case in the Archangel's deck of cards, right? So basically what I've done is I've used the guarantee joker in order to create an effect where it looks like I'm just memorizing the whole stack of cards. Now how this works, right? The first card on top, right, is the J over there. Then there's a 10, which is for the 0 in the joker. Then there's a king, which is for the K over there. And there's a 3, which is for the 3 over there. And there's a 9. Now why I've used a 9 is because an R doesn't really correspond to any card, but an R sort of looks like a 9 if you look at it in the right way. So we'll consider that a 9, right? Then you move on to this thing. Now if you have a bicycle deck, it'll be a slightly different crib, and I guess I'll show you that in the next video, or probably in this video. But for now, let's go on with the Archangel's deck, right? You can basically adapt this to any guarantee joker that you might have, depending on the features of the card, right? So next we have this beautiful little design over here of an Archangel, and what I've done is I've seen all of the black in this, and there's a spade, sort of a resemblance to a spade. So I haven't used a spade, but I've used an ace. I've used an ace of clubs over here to correspond to this joker over here. Then the next thing is the guarantee that's written down. So the G, right? Okay, I messed up these cards, right? 6, 2, yeah. Anyways, so the G is a 6 because if you see closely, the G resembles a 6. Then there's a U. Now the U, I've used a 2 for it because the U rhymes with 2. U2. So I've used it in that way. So there's a 2. And then there's an A. A, of course, will be an ace. And R, as I've told you earlier, is a 9. Then there's another ace, right? Then there's an N. Now if you see in the non-capital ones, like if you see anywhere over here, there's an N, right? Now that basically looks like an upside down U. And U, as we know, is a 2. So I basically use the N's and the U's as 2's. Pretty confusing, it's like a tongue twister, but yeah, a 2. Now after this we are on the T. Now basically what I've done is I've adapted this technique from the bicycle deck, and in bicycle deck the guarantee is in lowercase. So if you look over here, this is the same thing in lowercase. The T, it kind of resembles a 4 in the sense that the T goes like this and there's a line in the middle that looks like a 4. Once you associate the T with the 4, you will actually not forget it pretty easily. So it's a 4 on the T. Then you have the 2 E's. The 2 E's are because they look like 3's which are reversed in a mirror, right? Like a 3 turned the left side right. The 2 E's. So those are the 2 E's. Then the last few cards, right? You have the Ace of Spades written over here. It's pretty much the most obvious one over here. You have, we will be glad to replace it, blah blah blah. Return the Ace of Spades and the defective card to the address, right? So you have the Ace of Spades written over there, so you can just read it out and you have the Ace of Spades. Now the good thing is, some cards you will only know the value. In some cards you can actually go for the suit, like an Ace of Clubs or an Ace of Spades, right? And that basically adds a certain photographic essence to it. Like you have photographic memory, you remember certain cards because they stand out to you, like the Archangel's Ace of Spades, it really stands out. Then you have the 3, right? Because you have this thing in the address, the 300, 300 gap way. This is for all bicycle manufactured, all USPC, United States Playing Card Company manufactured cards. They have this thing, 300. Basically it's a 3 and then 2 10s, right? You can be like, oh, 2 10s. So that's that. And then what you have is 4 10 18. So I use a 4. 10 is of course a 10. But there's no 18 card in the deck, and there are no aces left in the deck right now. So what I've done is I've used only the last digit, the 8, and I have remembered that, of course, that I'm using an 8 instead of an 18. So I use an 8. Now, when you saw in the performance, I started with the 8 because what happens is now I have reversed the order of the deck. But originally what happens was the 8, it was on the top, then the 10, then the 4. Because I myself had switched the deck over. Like I had turned it over and then I had dealt a few cards from the bottom. Now what I'm doing is over here is I'm doing a false shuffle basically. Like this is my stack, right? And I give them the other pile to shuffle, and I'm just doing this 1, 2, 3. I'm just removing 3 cards from the bottom, putting them to the top, turning it around, and I'm doing 1, 2, 3. Basically retaining the whole order. There's an 8 and a 10 and a 4. So I guess that's about it, and I'm guessing I'll show you the bicycle deck as well, just in case you have a bicycle deck and don't have the Archangel's premium deck. So let me just get my bicycle deck. Yeah, so that's my bicycle deck. Right, so we'll use this. Now I'm not going to go through the entire procedure of stacking the cards because that's pretty obvious. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to show you the joker, the guarantee joker of the bicycle deck, right? So keep the bicycle deck aside for now. Yeah, that's the guarantee joker of the bicycle deck. So you can start out with the Joker, Jack, 10, King, 3, 9, like the joker that I used earlier. And now over here what you can see is a king of spades. Like you can see spades on his arms and it's a king. So you can be like a king of spades. That's another card you can identify. Then there's an 808. And this is not anywhere else on the deck. This is on the card. It's only over here, 808. So you can be like an 8, a 10 and an 8. The next thing is the guarantee, of course. And this is the lowercase that I was talking about. The N which looks like a U. The T which looks like a 4. So this is the same thing, like